Hey guys, today I will show you why these cheap Amazon sharpening stones are almost always a complete scam. When I got into knife making several years ago, I obviously needed a proper way to sharpen my knives. So I thought I will get me a set of sharpening stones from coarse to extremely fine. See here, 240 to 8000 grit. I will get those on Amazon and then be happy ever after. But as soon as I got them, I noticed that they are pretty much the same. After trying them out, I had some other disappointments. For example, they are super soft, and one of them had a giant defect in the form of a 2mm big piece of abrasive, which just scratched the hell out of my knife. So now, 8 years later, I have a better understanding of stuff, and I tried to find out what these guys are actually doing. So there are three major organizations that define the grit size for abrasives. There's ANSI for North America, there's JIS for Japan, and there's FIPA for Europe. With FIPA having two different classifications, F for metal abrasives, so these are usually for these sharpening stones, and P for sandpaper. I guess it's probably something French.
Papier de verre.
These specs exist because it's just not practical to state the actual size of the abrasive element, since there's just too much variation. And exceptions are diamond stones, which often state their size in micron, because there's just more precision in the manufacturing of these diamond abrasives. If you look at the tables, a P120 equals an F100 and a J100 and an NC100, which all seems fine. But if we get to these higher values, for example, a P1500 equals an F500 and a J1200. And that's also between an NC6 and 800. So you can already see where a problem could occur. It should also be noted that these specs have upper limits. The FIPA P stops at 5000, the F at 2000, the NC at 1200, and the Japanese go completely ham at 8000. But if you look at the table, the J8000 and the F2000 are equal, so again there's a bit of a problem there. So that already explains why there is pretty much no difference between the lower and the higher grit, since none of these manufacturers state which standard they follow, and with a bit of a higher than normal tolerance you can pretty much write anything on every stone and you aren't even lying too much. Then we have the binding material, which can be a magnesium oxide resin or cement. While using these cheap stones, I noticed that they are extremely soft and wear super fast. Comparing them to my other stones like the Lansky ones and this Japanese water stone, you can see there's a huge difference also in the amount of slurry that is produced during grinding. The cheap ones really make a mess. There is also the actual abrasive material. There are several different options. The most common ones are aluminum oxide or corundum, which exist as the standard corundum with 94% brown aluminum oxide, and white corundum, which is pure 99.9% aluminum oxide. These can be mixed with zirconium, which gives it even better properties. Other materials are silica carbide, boron nitride, and diamond. The cheap stones usually don't tell you which abrasive they use, so you can expect you get the lowest quality. It should be noted that the color alone is not an indicator for the abrasive, since the binding material can be colored. So just because one side is white doesn't mean that it contains white corundum, for example. So I hope you got a good overview of what makes a sharpening stone. With these no-name stones, in my opinion, it's better to avoid them. There are other cheap options like the Lansky sets, which come with sharpening guides and actual proper stones with different grits. It's not that the no-name stones are useless. You can definitely sharpen a knife. However, having several of them is pointless since they are gonna be pretty much the same. The softness is also an issue because you need to flatten them quite often, otherwise you have a half pipe and you can't sharpen scissors or woodworking tools. If you want larger water stones, you can also look at the used market, since these things last very long and chances are someone will sell some that he had in his drawer for the last 20 years. So I hope you learned something for your future projects. Have a good day and bye bye.